Hey everyone, Isaac here. I wanted to show you my project file for Andrew Huang's For Producers Circuit Bent Challenge. So I started playing around with chopping up the sample, and I wanted to create kind of a bass line. I loved that 2/3 of the way through section where it was just these really nice, almost bassy things when you pitched them down. So that turned out to be like this. And I'm doing some processing on it. I've got a gate at first, cleaning it up a bit. Got some filters with some various distortion types and a little bit of transient shaping. And then an OTT-like contraption and a phaser. Once I had that kind of base of the song, I wanted to add some chords. But I originally went with something kind of bouncy and goofy. So here's that. What I ended up doing with that is throwing it into a huge amount of reverb and bouncing that out. So I had this kind of floaty chord thing going on. And from there, I wanted to add something a little bit more shimmery. So I made this patch of another bounced out part of the sample. And it's doing some kind of like a sliding wavetable synthesis. So you get little shimmers when it passes these little transients in here. And then I wanted some reverb tails for, build-ups and stuff. So I threw that patch into a bunch of reverb, got some reverb tails. So once I had the body of the track, I needed a melody. And I performed this on my Rolly C-board blocks. So it was a lot of fun to play around with a bunch of different MPE-capable patches. What I ended up with was this patch that I made for this project, really. And it takes that little whoop bit around there in the sample, and you can play it as chords or as a melody. So this one I've got configured with like a short attack and release, so it's a nice, solid lead sound. But I also made a slower version and got these really nice lush chords out of it. The other thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to have kind of a softer version of the same melody. So I took a sample that I had of a piece of wood that I had kind of rubbed against another, and it made this almost violin-like sound. Threw that sample in here, gave it some slower attack and release. Although actually, no, relatively quick. And we got this. It's got this very nice initial hit to the sound. It gives it a lot of character. And then I threw the sample in there, made it squeak at you, and I needed to go somewhere new with the song. So I made a new patch. I love making new patches to find new directions in songs. So what I made here is a lot of layers of just one of these lower bassy notes, and they're just kind of looped. And I turned it into this big saw synth, but then put some flangers and phasers on it, and it just kind of got all wonky. So I played something wonky. And I just took the first take of that I did because it was so spontaneous and goofy. I thought it worked really well in the track. Oh, I also added some whistling up here. But yeah, beyond that, we circled back to the main thing towards the end, and a little bit of outro with the sample and the whistling and all of the softer stuff to, send you on your way. So I hope you enjoy.